Hi, I'm Pat, and I am the father of a HLHS kiddo named Micah, and I'm with the Micah Mason Foundation. And today we're going to review a group called the Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation, or the Todd and Karen Family Program. So the Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation was formed obviously by the Wanek family. I don't know the entire story behind the Wanek family, but my assumption is that they had a child or someone in their family who had HLHS or has HLHS, and they were wealthy. I believe they're somehow associated with Ashley Furniture, and they provided a rather large contribution to the Mayo Clinic in order to establish effectively a research lab at the Mayo Clinic. And this foundation, the Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation, became the Todd and Karen Wanek Family Program. It's through the Mayo Clinic, and so you can go to the Mayo Clinic's website and check out Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation. There are 4 areas that they work on primarily. Imaging and outcomes research, human genetics investigations, regenerative medicine strategies, and creation of an annotated biorepository. So the outshoot from that is the Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation is attempting to cure both HLHS in general, so provide perhaps a different path than the 3 surgery, concluding with the Fontan surgery palliative path that we have right now, because it's not a whole life path. It just gets us to the next step. So they're investigating potential replacements for that, as well as help for those kiddos who are already in the Fontan stream. So like my son, he has his Fontan, and so he's going to need the next step. And so that's what they do, is they do research in that area. And for those from those 4 areas, primary way they do the research is through what's called the HLHS consortium. If your child was at a hospital that is part of the HLHS consortium, you were probably given the option to participate in one of their research programs, be the fetal blood and the fetal stem cell collection. In the there's some other stuff that happened right away. We participated in the genetic study because our care center, Cook Children's in Fort Worth, is not part of the HLHS consortium, and so we didn't find out about it till after we were not available to do some of the other projects. But we did participate in some of the genetic trials. Effectively, we just gave them the genetic information on our son and ourselves, and our daughter, which were run through Cook Children's. So provided them data so that they could build their stuff. Like I said, the Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation is out of the Mayo Clinic, and if you want to get involved in any of their research studies or their trials, I would highly recommend getting in touch with them. I met the director, or one of the directing doctors there, and his name is Dr. Tim Nelson, and really great guy. I met him at an NPCQIC conference in Cincinnati. I know we've talked about NPCQIC in the past, and so whereas NPCQIC is an organization that sort of investigates how things are done now and how can we do them better, improving outcomes for the current process, the Todd and Karen Wanek program is sort of focused on the future. And another organization I want to talk about is an organization that's kind of born out of the Todd and Karen Wanek program, the Mayo Clinic. It's called HeartWorks, or HeartWorks Incorporated. I think it's heartworksinc.com is their website, or .org. And they're a 501c3. And effectively, their goal as an organization is to take what is discovered via the Todd and Karen Wanek program, the Mayo Clinic, through the HLHS consortium, and through research initiatives, and push those through the FDA process to eventually get products that can be used in our kiddos for their eventual needs as Fontan patients. So they have a number of areas they're working on, But that's the gist of it. They're big into research and big into improvement and big into the future. So I highly recommend checking out Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation, especially if you're just diagnosed. If you were diagnosed in utero and you want to be part of some of their programs that require a collection of things at birth, then definitely reach out to the HLHS Consortium and the Todd and Karen Wanek program at the Mayo Clinic, and reach out to HeartWorks. And HeartWorks does lab tours on occasion, virtual lab tours. I'm sure once all the COVID stuff is over, they'll do them in person again. But they do lab tours, so you can go virtually through their lab. It's a pretty cool process. And one of the big things they're doing right now is growing heart tissues from donor cells in jars, and so it's kind of like they're trying to effectively build hearts in jars, and put it in a buzzword kind of a way. And they've had a report. I want to say it was one of the major networks had a guy go, and he had a little bit of his arm cell taken, and from that they were able to extract stem cells, and from those stem cells they were able to make heart cells, and then they were able to build 1 billion or so heart cells in a jar. And the idea behind that is that they can re-inject those heart cells into a heart and maybe rebuild things, or possibly make a secondary heart that may work. I talked to Dr. Nelson a little bit about one of the goals, and one of the goals is to make something of a tubular heart that would go inside of your child's artery after the heart, and just sort of provide another beating function to help move along the blood flow, because that's the problem we've got, is the pressures are not right, because you've only got the one chamber doing all the work of what should be a two-chamber, two-ventricle thing. So they've got some other things in the work. They're also investigating some of the mechanical devices that have been shelved by some of the bigger medical device manufacturers, because the market's not big enough. Even though it's 1,000 or so kids a year, quote unquote, the market's not big enough for those manufacturers. But for a smaller one like HeartWorks, who could maybe build these things at a smaller scale and then get them through the FDA approvals. So they're looking at that, and they've got some of their other initial projects involving stem cell re-injection, basically taking heart cells out and then just re-injecting them into the heart to see if they can help enhance heart function, or enhance the cardiac function overall. And those have moved on, I think, to the second or third stage in trials in the FDA. So they're moving forward with a lot of things. It's a very exciting organization. It's an organization that we've partnered with. I know we've partnered with the Children's Heart Foundation, and now we're also going to be partnering with HeartWorks. So we're very excited about that. We're very excited to help support them in the research that will hopefully come along and save Micah and other HLH children's lives. So that's the Todd and Karen Wanek Foundation / Todd and Karen Wanek Family Program, and HeartWorks. And if you are diagnosed with HLHS, or you have a kiddo with HLHS, or you're in utero, I highly recommend reaching out and checking them out, and seeing if you can get involved in the next stage in care for these kids. Thanks. I'm Patrick, and we really appreciate your support of the Micah Mason Foundation and everything you do for us. Hi, I'm Pat. Thank you for watching our video. We really appreciate it. I know in some of our last videos we talked about the Micah Mason Research Fund. I wanted to give you a little bit of update about it. So we have had some progress, and I want to say thank you very much for the progress so far, but as you can see, we still have a long way to go. So we would really appreciate your support in that. I also have a couple of other announcements coming up. We've got our 2021 capital campaign coming up. It's going to be starting hopefully in about a week or so. And basically we're going to be raising money for running the charity and doing stuff next year. Doing stuff like funding the charity, maybe hosting a cook-off, partnering with HeartWorks, which is the amazing organization hopefully you've seen our video for, the Extra Life event, that we're going to partner with Extra Life to do an event and upgrading our website and our tech, because we need that, and I'm pretty sure you can tell from these videos we're going pretty low tech right now. So we need a little help. So we appreciate you watching our video. Like, share, subscribe, go to our Facebook page, like it there, website, Micah Mason Foundation.com. We really appreciate your support. Thanks.